Hey, what's happening, everybody? Whoa, let's move some shit around real quick. Yup. Alrighty. We're rocking this one solo for a little bit here. Let me go ahead and swing on over to this. Hooray! And, yeah. We're on Mono Blue Spirits today. So, what do I love about this list? It's got some pieces that allow it to deal with all these mid-range and weird brews that are rolling around. And that's the idea, is it's supposed to eat those decks for breakfast. You have your 8 counters here. You've got a ton of flash, and the ability to flash in stuff that doesn't have flash because of rattle chains. You've got your 8 lords for the spirits. Every creature is a spirit, one of which scales beautifully. And of course, you've got your Curious Obsession for just a lot of card draw. So, the main board's pretty basic. There's not a whole lot that is ever going to change about this list. I mean, if we get better 1-drops, we'll throw them in at some point, but these are here because we needed 2 more 1-drops that were spirits that flew, and this is as good as it gets once you get past Spectral Sailor and Ascendant Spirit. Sideboard. Cerulean Drake. I know Bone Crusher's out there, but a lot of people don't know how to play it, and even those that do, this still technically 1-for-1 counters a Bone Crusher. Not a bad thing. More importantly, it can stall the whole board against those aggro decks and buy you the time you need. Aether Gust, same kind of logic. We need help against the red decks. Sometimes we need help against mono green. This does that. I don't know if we want a 3rd copy or not. I haven't figured it out. That's kind of what this Brazen Borrower could be. It's just sitting here. I'm not sure if I want it for that or if I want it to be something else. It plays fine against the control decks, which is also part of why it's here, and sometimes you just have some ETB stuff that you just gotta throw back to their hand. Soul Guide Lantern's here because fuck GreaseFang. It's that simple. We don't like losing to GreaseFang. We also don't really like losing to Phoenix, and this should help a little bit with Phoenix, although to be fair, Cerulean Drakes and Aether Gust do a lot more work there. And Slip Out the Back is sitting here for now. This is, if we're going up against dedicated kill everything control, this is basically a 1-mana counterspell that gives +1/+1 counters, so why wouldn't we play it? It just gives us the ability to get ahead. So, let's give it a shot. We're sitting 2 ticks into Plat 4 to start. We screwed up and ended up just outside the top 1200 last season, which, oops, I think we ended at like 1222. Whoopsie daisy. So we didn't get the free qualifier play-in, but that's fine. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. And in the meantime, let's rock some ranked. Let's do some laddering and let's see where we end up. Alright. Oh, me oh my. Who's up first? Lost Waldo. Okay. I'm in for this. Love the name. Here we roll. Yeah. Lands and spells, baby. Sometimes it's just that simple. We are here to win games, and that is what this does. Let's see. So if we want to go quick here, we can Curious Obsession the Ascendant Spirit, smack through, play Spectral Sailor on their turn. They should have the answer, but we also do just kind of need to get going, and this has got the ability to do that. And if they don't have that immediate threat removal, this gets out of control, which I really like. And we're still doing like a 2-for-2 basis here, you know what I mean? And if they don't have the thing they need, we get to do that. Geistlight Snare is also pretty excellent in these scenarios. Okay, how do we want to deal with this? I think we're just smacking with the Spirit and passing. We really needed a land there, we didn't find it. Maybe we'll find one there. Yes, we will. Alright. We'll still just pass. We have Rattle Chains. They have to kill the Spirit. We don't need to give a shit. We'll just Spectral Sailor on their end step and then Rattle Chains if they're dumb enough to try and force some removal through here. Yep, good old Ledger Shredder. Okay, whatever. So they're holding up either an Opt or a Lightning Axe. We've played enough Izzet Phoenix to know this is their game plan. And we are going to... Do we force it? That seems foolish. Let's just move to our turn. And... God, we really wanted to get exactly one more land there. One more land and that would have been a perfect push through. How do we want to do this? I think we have to force the issue. So if we're going to force the issue, we're going to do it with Patrician Geist here. And if they kill Ascendant Spirit, so be it, but they're going to have the Lightning Axe to do it. Which is where I want to be. Because that's coming out ahead still. Yep, okay. So they've got the Arc Lights. Ledger Shredder can just go that route. Sure, sure. Let's see. Ox of Agonis in the main. It's a weird scenario. Flame Bolt. Okay. They've made some very interesting choices here that I do not normally see. Ox of Agonis and Flame Blessed Bolt are not typically in the main of E-stacks. We're failing to hit what we need there. Do they have just infinite removal? They should. This is a blue-red deck that should be able to push forward. And, you know, games 2 and 3 get a lot better once you have Cerulean Drakes and Aether Gusts, etc. Ledger Shredder getting out of control is a big problem, though. It flies, it blocks. Brazen Borrower in the main. Interesting. This is definitely the most unique build I've seen. So they're going to get back a Phoenix. Okay. Yeah, we don't care. We're still the aggro deck. Yeah. When in doubt, aggro out. We still just need a land. It's been the case for several turns here. Lands win games. Are they going to Ox of Agonis with 3 in the grip? Wow. Okay, they must have like 3 lands sitting in their grip. Arclight Phoenix. Interesting. They chose a very weird path on this one. Did they get the removal piece they needed? Because they need to draw a removal piece there. They should. Like, statistically speaking, they should. Okay. So, wow. And they had another one, which means they have to have one more. They didn't go for Patrician Geists. Pretty odd. Okay. So we dump this into play. Still didn't get what we needed. That's super annoying. Okay, so we smack him down here. And they'll probably misplay this. And then if we draw a land, we can phase out and win. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that. Okay, we are not blocking Ox of Agonis, we are blocking the other two. If they have it, they have it. Like, there's no way around that. Okay, so that chumps there, that chumps there, we take it. I think we actually just block there. If they have a Cajol's Fury, they win on that play. I mean, what do we gain from this? Yeah, we don't want to lose to Cajol's Fury. Let's just go to 4 and see what they do. We hope they do Crackling Drake into nothing. And they don't have another Finale of Promise, which they should have since they're checking the graveyard. Getting stuck on 3 land was pretty rough here. There we are. But here's the thing, if we draw literally any land in this deck, we win the game off Faceless Haven. So just give me a land, finally. Just one. That's all I'm asking. One land, one time, right now. Just for me. Getting ready for crying emoji. Doop. We're just gonna prematurely do a crying emoji. Yep, we're not getting that land. We're not that good. That would have been just... That would have made too much sense. Would have made too much sense. Alright. Can we survive one more turn? Yes. We pass it on over. If they don't have what they need, we still get one turn, potentially. Or they could have another piece of removal. That's also possible. Okay. We had our windows. The windows didn't quite work. That happens. Now, how do we deal with this? What is the right way to deal with this deck? Flame Blessed Bolts make me think Lantern Bearers are a liability. Cerulean Drakes are correct. They help a great deal here. Spectral Adversary, not too good. The question is, do we want Gusts and do we want Slip Out the Backs? Slip Out the Backs can be pretty good. Brazen Borrower is a thing, especially for Ledger Shredder, since they get that online before we can do much about it. But I don't love it here, frankly. I think I would rather have a couple of Slip Out the Backs and have the ability to phase stuff out as we keep going. Yeah, I mean, the red cards we're going to counter, we're probably better just slipping things out the back. Alright, Lost Waldo. Okay. I don't love this hand, but we are going to keep it. Like, it's not terrible, it's just awkward. And awkward's never what I'm aiming for. Because of that, that's what makes it super, super awkward. Because that's just going to go nuts. Ledger Shredder's so good against mono blue. Good thing to know, though, I guess. No. Let's just go this way. Let's draw some cards and get going, huh? Okay. We've got Geistlight Snare if we need it. They should go land removal spell here. We just strangle that. Not ideal. Let's see. They shouldn't block this, but if they're dumb enough to. Okie dokie, let's blow them out. And that's what we like to see. If they go Anger here, we still have the next Supreme Phantom. Yeah, I mean, I like where this particular scenario is positioned. These Ledger Shredders on 2. What a house, though. They do so much work against a deck like this. Consider, yep. Okay, so Izzet Phoenix Life, I think that's where they're going. Let's make that look a little foolish. They get the bird back. Not gonna matter. Do we have... How close are we to lethal? 5, 11, 13, 15. We have lethal with Faceless Haven because it's a spirit. So that's an interesting way we could go. We'll probably just end up on Patrician Geists here and smacking through. Because, I mean, they'll chump anyway. There's no reason not to chump the Rattle Chains with a Phoenix. You're not dumb enough to swing here, right? I guess, maybe. Never underestimate the stupidity of your opponent, but... Okay, there we go. Yeah, Patrician guys, we have the Geistlight Snare, so we're just going to smack in. We expect to see a chump, no chump, cool, works for me. Let's deal a whole crap load of damage, and draw some cards, and have a 1-mana counterspell. And then have another thing, just in case. So, I don't think there's a way we lose that. Yep. Perfect. Let's move on. Game 3. Okay, so Ledger Shredder, still a problem. Is it worth trying to solve with Brazen Borrower? I don't know. I don't know. That feels like a really rough way to try to answer something like that. Aether Gust I don't think would have been very good there. Slip Out the Back would have been fine on a lot of those scenarios just because of these strangles and the ability to go 1-for-1 counter plus tempo. And I think that makes it worth keeping the 2. And Cerulean Drake also just, you gotta keep your shit out, and this does a great job of doing that. It also holds Crackling Drake at bay, which is wild to me. Plus Slip Out the Back, and that is a neat little combo to make it big enough to take down Phoenixes if they attack. I don't know. I don't know that there's another way that I would shift this. I mean, is Ascendant Spirit bad in this matchup is the question. Hard to say. I mean, if it gets out of control, it gets out of control, but it's pretty easy to keep it in check when you have 8 1C, no, probably 10 1cc answers. Let's double check here. Geistlight Snare, Patrician Geists, Rattle Chains. Yeah, I mean, all the counters are going to stay the way they are. They have Mystical Disputes. I guess with Mystical Disputes and the amount of removal, we probably want this more than we want 2 of these Lofty Denials. And you know what? I'll take out the last 2 and push into Brazen Borrowers for Ledger Shredders. Because these might just be a little too slow. Like, this can be a 1-mana counter, mana leak, right? And at least it's almost always a 2-mana leak. Like, that seems reasonable. But this is often going to be bad, I think. And Slip Out the Back is pretty good against a deck filled with 1cc removal. Okay, I don't love this hand, but we're on the draw. We have 1-2 punch. I think we keep on that basis. Like, curving out's worth doing. And unless they get real lucky with Considers into Arclights early, I feel pretty good about what this is trying to do. This will give us the ability to leave both of these up unless they kill the Ascendant Spirit right now, which they probably won't, and they didn't, so we swing. They have a Lightning Axe, or an Opt Consider, or a Flame Blast Bolt. It's one of these things. That's fine. Okay. And now we play this little guessing game back and forth. Who has which spell, when, where, how, why. So I like to go this route. I'm aware that this is asking to a degree to get blown out, but at the same time they win the long game. And if they want to use that into a removal spell, that's totally reasonable. I don't have an issue with that. Okay. Are they going to let it go, or are we going to see a lightning axe? Because this would be a very early lightning axe. Okay. Let's get the Drake out. They have to have a Mystical Dispute number 2 to keep this off the battlefield. Wow, they did. Okay. Sometimes you have it, you know? Was not expecting that. Odds were not significantly high that they would have that, but yeah, so it goes sometimes. So it goes. Will they have a third? Either way, we crack into it after combat. Like, they should have some removal here. Okay. This should land. Holy shit. Okay. So just every Mystical Dispute. And then Ledger Shredder after. That seems pretty good. How do you have triple Mystical Dispute in Game 3 against the mono blue deck? Wild. Okay. Yeah, this is happening. Or do we just push there? I feel like we almost have to. This is an awkward position. So we can Patrician Geist. God, Patrician Geists are so awkward in this, aren't they? We probably wanted more Brazen Borrowers instead of Patrician Geists. Good to know. They're going to have a removal spell. We can't overload the spirit. If we hold up Geist Light Snare, it's not going to matter. So, we just go this route and pass. They kill it. And to be fair, if they're not going to kill these Geists, they'll just start taking over the game. Cool. That's what I want to see 10 times out of 10. If they kill the Geist, that's the correct play. Okay. Okie dokie. So now we're playing a Tempo War. Got it. They have Hall of the Storm Giant, which means they have almost lethal right now, and then they top deck removal. Okay. Let's see. Just be a land. Why wouldn't it be? Ledger Shredder is just destroying my ability to play this matchup. Yep. They enact, they smack, I go to 1, I block. Is there a way through? Like, again, we're actually not that far off. What can we possibly do that lets us live? 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we smack through. I need somehow 3 creatures here, so I need... I need them to play a spell and not do that. So that was, again, we're off by 1 turn on pure awkwardness with these Patrician Geists, whereas Brazen Borrower probably would have given us the game. So the tempo really seems to matter in that. And that's the lesson I'm going to take away from it. So we have Phoenix. 1, 2. The other lesson I'm learning with Izzet Phoenix is just make them have it. Make them have it at every single turn. No questions, just make them have it. Alright, let's roll it back here. Double D. Interesting name. Interesting name. Okay. There aren't a lot of hands that are this excellent. I mean, turn 1 Thoughtseize still ruins us, but what are the odds, right? Let's find out. Oh, spirits. Yeah, it's not my favorite play pattern, but I'm kind of curious if they're going to waste the Blood Tithe Harvester plus removal spell to wipe the board, because if they do that, we're still fine. Like, we can still hold and just go after it. And if they don't, they're in for a rough time. Let's see what they do. Alright, so Sailor, Phantom, looks like Grixis, probably. Yeah, we'll take that. 10 times out of 10, we'll take that. Totally fine. Looks about right. Tapped land. Alright, shields are down. Not sure I love the Spectral Adversaries in here. Those might end up getting shuffled at some point. Yeah, you can be the aggro right now. That's fine. Yeah, I'm actually pretty okay with this. Let's get on the board and get going. Okay. How many fatal pushes do you have? Enough that I'm not falling for that. Much as I'd love to say that that's the right move, I'm not 100%. Interesting. Okay, well, if we're gonna go this route. Why is that in the deck? It seems so wrong. Yeah, whatever. Let's put some pressure. They're at 7, they double a couple cards, we still have Brazen, or if we need to, we can Spectral. Hunted Nightmare? What madness are the... I don't know, this feels like a budget Rakdos mid deck. This is not the version that I would ever play. I mean, that's interesting, I guess. Okay. So we go this route. And doop, phase it right out. None for you. Alright, so we got this game. Yep. And that one's straight up handled. Alright. It's Rakdos mid. They're running Bone Crushers, which is a wee bit annoying. But slip out the backs. This is probably where those come in as a premium answer to what they're trying to do. I don't love Lantern Bearers again. And I don't really love adversaries in this lineup as much, although Patrician Geist is kind of more of a problem, right? These at least flash, fly, phase out. Okay, so these are a little clunky, and we're trying to minimize the clunk. Yeah, let's run it back like this. Double D with a bad Rakdos build. Good to know, though. Let's see if we can get that dub. Alrighty, double. Seems reasonable. Spirits, curves. That's about what I'm looking for. Alright, no turn one Thoughtseize, that helps. Got the land we're aiming for. Blood Tithe, sure. We'll play back and forth on that all day long. Yep. 3 points to Gryffindor. Yeah, we're fine with this. If they want to kill a thing, they can kill a thing. Wow. Alright. Also fine with that. Like, are we playing into the removal? Yes. Are we forcing it? Yes. We have plenty left to do. We want to force all of this removal to come through. At least, that's the way I'd run this.
Well, hey there.
How we doing?
Oh, not bad.
Move this over a little bit. There we are.
Damn hyperspace lane's clogged up. A fucking detour all the way back to Tython is ridiculous.
How it goes sometimes. We're rocking out some mono blue spirits here.
Nice.
We narrowly lost the first matchup against Izzet Phoenix. Sure. Let's see. Menace, Death Touch. Alright, so we're clocking back and forth here.
What was this? Just a enters the battlefield upon a interesting.
It's a very interesting card considering it has Menace, right?
Yeah.
I think in this scenario, I'm just extending the board into them. Because unless they have specifically Anger or Meat Hook, we get ahead by pushing here.
Oh, you also have that Geistlight Snare.
Well, I'm saying we're going to push all of this onto the battlefield right now, smack for 2 in the air, and then even if they have 1 piece of removal, we can bump the spirit while keeping Snare back.
Okay.
And if we go any other way, they're just going to clock us way harder than we can clock them, which I don't like. And like, yeah, we could play Spirit and trade a 2-for-1, but that also seems like a poor decision, considering the scale's better than that, and this draws cards. So I'd rather just... We are the tempo, they aren't the tempo, and play it that way. And if they have Anger, they have Anger.
They don't!
Okay. Unfortunately, that is a lot of pressure, considering it's likely to flip on our turn. Unless we top deck some piece of action here. Nope. Okay. Let's see, we have 5, so we can smack everything at them, and if they block, we'll just double bump the Ascendant Spirit.
Yeah.
And frankly, we might do that anyway. Well, we're doing at least the first one. And... yeah.
YOLO.
Yeah, as much as I'd prefer to run it a different way, this seems like it's got the best shot of getting there because the Ascendant Spirit just has to go big.
Sometimes you just gotta crank down.
Yeah. These have been a little awkward so far. Alright, so we go to 2. Do they have another Graveyard Trespasser to win this war? What do they have in hand? Because anything of relevance here is a problem. But it's got to be the right thing. Like a Bone Crusher isn't going to be the end of the world for us.
No.
What you got? So Izzet Phoenix, by the way, that matchup, Ledger Shredder was just a house against us.
Yeah, I bet.
That was the big problem. We ended up losing games 1 and 3 on... Oh my god, they didn't do anything. Okay, we have 2 counters and lethal. Smack it in. Weird. Okay, they should have had something. That's just a bad build of Rakdos, though.
Sometimes you just got a grip full of land.
Yeah. Alright. Pull up the deck here.
I see we have a...
Hey, Splinter, 19cc, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks. You see Ginger Mom 420 also followed?
Yeah, that's actually what I gave my mom for her handle on Twitch. She's like, I want to see what you're doing. And I'm like, alright, I'll make you a Twitch handle. And she's like, okay, just make it Ginger Mom. And I'm like, okay. And then that was taken. And I was like, well... Fucking 420 then, Mom. You won't know what this means. You've never done a drug in your life. You have no idea what this is.
Is that like Advil?
Right. Oh, it was adorable. I enjoyed that thoroughly. So this is what the deck looks like in the main. It's real basic. Cut and dried, straight through. I don't know if there needs to be some alterations, but like you've got 10 spirits at 1 CC, each of which has, you know, flexibility to a degree.
Right.
Your Curious Obsessions are obviously staying. Lofty Denials and Geist Lights are staying. Rattle Chains is definitely staying. Supreme Phantom staying. And then you get into Patrician Geist, Brazen Borrower, and Spectral Adversary. And I have them in roughly those numbers because I figure 8 Lords is probably a good idea.
What does Patrician Geist do?
It's just a 2/2 Lord for us. The other ability isn't relevant. So
okay.
It's like a slightly worse Supreme Phantom, really. But at the same time, it's a Lord, and you do get to like 3 to 4 spirits with regularity on games you win, where that plus a Supreme Phantom gets you out of range of a lot of shit quickly.
So it's the Spectral Adversary for, is that just like because it's a spirit for that much mana?
Flash, flying, and then it also has the ability to phase stuff out, so it counters removal spells at 4 mana.
Okay.
2 mana, it's a good curve. 4 mana, it can blow them out sometimes.
Fair enough.
Brazen Borrower is kind of self-explanatory.
Brazen Borrower, yeah.
It's not a spirit, but like
It's
flash.
It's 2 cards.
It's 2 cards and it's a flash flyer, so it kind of just wins on that, and the mana base is as simple as it gets.
If Vendilion Clique were a removal spell, yeah, Brazen Borrower's good.
If Vendilion Clique were in this format, I would be playing 4 of them instead of these Patrician Geists. It wouldn't even be close. It'd be 4 of those and 4 Brazen Borrowers probably in that scenario.
It'd be a different format.
Mm-hmm. Now the question is, do we want more Brazen Borrowers?
I don't know, man.
Because we can
definitely a deck that you gotta play through.
Yeah, I mean there are other spirit cards, but most of them suck a lot. You know, like I've looked through this a few times. I've seen Shacklegeist in some builds. I don't love this. It just doesn't strike me as excellent because you're getting a bad opposition effect, which rarely is what you want to be doing with your creatures, you know?
Yeah, I've played against somebody that had it, and I don't know, used it to some effect to slow me down while they were getting their shit together. I think I beat them anyway, though.
This is an interesting alternative to Patrician Geist. I don't know that it's good, but it's an interesting alternative because it does provide some weird combat math.
Okay.
The problem I have with this is the 1-but.
Yeah.
And then Cemetery Illuminator is actually an option as well. It's a weird one, you know what I mean? Like, is this better than a Lord, though, is the question. The 3-butt's nice, but is it actually better than a Lord? I
Possibly.
hesitate to say so. So I'm, hey, Splinter19cc, thanks for the sub.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you.
ya.
Where's that coming up?
It's over here, the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
That's where the fun begins.
Oh, yes. And there's, of course, Dungeon Geists in the format, which we haven't fucked with, but it seems too expensive,
it's
right?
Bad.
Like, I feel like that's expensive, and this intrigues me, but, like, then we have to splash into white, we lose Faceless Haven.
Yeah.
It's better than Patrician Geist, and it's not really that close, but...
Faceless Haven's better than that, though.
Right. That's the problem. So when we get into these different options, I mean, white gives you the ability to kind of go wide with the brine combers and everything, but even then, it's just kind of...
I'm not into it.
Right. That's the problem I've been having, so...
All right, so what if we, let's take a look at the list again real quick.
Yeah, I'll pull it up real fast. And for those out there watching, lurking, etc., feel free to say hi. Hey, what's up, Irrationally Virgo?
Ahoy.
Right on time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know on this one.
So, I think Brazen Borrower's better than Patrician Geist.
So you want to flip that ratio?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's dump the one from the sideboard in. And we'll flip over here. Okay. The nice thing there is it gives us a little bit more room against Ledger Shredders.
Yeah.
Once they get going, to just be like, nope, back. And yeah, tempo might just be that big a deal. Then
It's 2 spells.
Then the question becomes, do we want any Patrician Geist, or do we just want to max out on like Spectral Adversaries and thus our ability to hit our 2-drops?
I don't like Patrician Geist. I don't think just a Lord for 3 mana is good enough in an Eternal format.
Well, and this scales as the game goes on. Sometimes you're going to do this and you'll have 6 mana, you'll face 2 creatures, it'll come into play with, what is it?
A couple +1/+1 counters.
Yeah, so it'll come in as like a 4/3, which isn't terrible when you're getting to phase out 2 creatures.
I think higher quality is probably better than Lord.
And then, I mean, the sideboard's as simple as it gets. We still have room for one more card here, but Cerulean Drake, because, yeah.
Right.
Aether Gust's pretty simple.
Sure.
I don't like losing to vehicles, and this is cheaper than unlicensed hearse, and they are prepped for hearse at this point.
Yeah.
So whatever you're going to do, you need to just be able to pop it. And then Slip Out the Back seem fine for these removal heavy decks where we can just flip these in over... I specifically want them in scenarios where we're going to take out like Lofty Denial, because what they're doing is just cheap removal. Mm-hmm. So we're just going, okay, fine, like Lofty Denial is too expensive, it's basically just a bad mana tithe, so now we just have Slip Out the Backs instead to push us a little bit in tempo. So, oh, we do have room for one more in that sideboard though, so I'm going to throw in the 3rd Aether Gust, I think, and leave it like that for the moment, unless you have something else you wanted to see.
No, I've seen some builds of this that instead of one of the snow lands, they've got the legendary land, the new Kamigawa one, like a one of. Do you think that's worth considering?
I don't. And my reasoning for that is I want this to turn on turn 4 every game. And there's already been a game that we've played where if we had drawn one more land, we would have won the Izzet Phoenix match flat. We just failed to draw the 4th land to get there. And
why are there hearts next to the decks?
So I favorited these ones so they wouldn't be in the wrong order because I keep modifying everything.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, it's down here. So I just favorite the ones I want at the top so I don't have to keep rearranging everything.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love it if they let me tier system the fuckers, but if they're not going to do that, that's fine. We'll run it back like this. So, all right. Let's run a little bit more in the ranks. See where we're at. Kiko. All right, Kiko. That's not good enough. Yeah, whoa. All right, that's not good enough either. Well, they took 2. We'll take 2. Let's start on a weird. Yeah, let's start on a weird hand. We have the Unmulligan hand. Super risky, but I like it. We'll dump out a Borrower and a Curious because this is the best 5 you can get with this deck, basically. I guess Ascendant Spirit would technically be better.
Or the instant speed one.
Yeah. So we're up against Mardu GreaseFang, probably.
Please don't kill it. All our hope rides on this creature.
Right. If you kill it, uh-oh. If you don't kill it, I think we can win this fucking game. Oh, it's looking better. Okay, so it's Mardu GreaseFang. What up, Frodoverse?
Yo.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. I had it.
And we lose.
Maybe. I mean, they still have to have a Mardu GreaseFang in these two, or else they usually don't put on enough pressure for me to care. So, let's force them to have it. Like, if they mold a 5 and just get the combo turn 3, so fucking be it. Some people are just that lucky. But if they don't... Okay, that's not white mana.
Okay, it's not happening this turn.
Deadly Dispute. They're looking for it. Are they going to have another piece of removal? Say no. Say no. Alright. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Yes! And Geistlight turns on, baby.
Okay. We're pulling ahead.
This is where I want to be. What you got? Don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Irrelevant card number 1.
Hey, we've got 69 followers.
Nice. Okay, GreaseFang. None of that now. Nothing too fancy. No. And they don't have a white source to play another. So I like where we're at here. And we have a borrower for it. Cool.
Very nice.
Okay. We're not throwing this on. No, we're just keeping up and rolling.
Yep.
This is beat you to death and gain card advantage. Now we have successfully unmulliganed. Love that. Love that for us. And a Spectral. Perfect. Alright. We're moving. Do they get to... dicks?
Whatever. Who cares?
I'm just debating whether or not I want to dump all of this into the battlefield, because we can. And I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, true.
Like, you thought sees nothing. We are the tempo, and also, like, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it kind of is.
And they're not gonna, like, they're going to 12, they're not gonna have land GreaseFang right now. We're gonna get to see a few more cards. Yeah. And we have a Lofty. Perfect.
Hilarious. Just crack it.
2, 4, 7. Yeah, we don't quite have lethal. And Lantern isn't going to make enough of a difference for me to want to extend into it when we could draw another counterspell here and further ensure we win. Like that.
Yep.
That's why we do that.
Yep. Now we win. Opponent doesn't even know it, but they're dead.
DOB. None of that now. There we go. Haven was lethal, but they were going to block with the Volderon Epicure in that scenario, so not so lethal. Soul Guide Lanterns, and that's it.
Pumped by Lord is a funny thing out of context.
Pumped by Lord. Could hold up Lofty. Yeah. What don't we like? What do we like?
What were they playing again? They're playing GreaseFang?
Yeah. So in GreaseFang, we've got to hold up. I think we still have to keep... I mean, like... Right?
Yeah, gotta keep our counter magic.
Because that plus Soul Guides are only barrier. They don't have much... And these are actually pretty useful in some situations, too, for buying us time.
Right.
I don't think the Lantern Bearers are great here. And I don't know that Spectral Adversaries are great
That's
here.
where I'd make my cuts. Although I would make them completely in the Adversaries so we can max out our 1-drops and get moving.
Okay, so just dump out the Adversaries and get moving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Lantern Bearer also is helping our Geistlight Snare.
That's true.
Coming back as an enchantment.
That's true. And also being a spirit to
Right.
make sure it's on turn 2.
Yeah.
Which will be important if we're on the draw, which we are.
Does Geistlight Snare get a reduction for Artifact as well, or just enchantment and spirit?
Okay, Frodo why we're not doing Slip Out the Back, it phases the Parhelion, so I don't believe the Parhelion bounces if we phase it. Because this is the trick they do with Kroxa.
Oh.
And so, as much as I like the idea of slipping out the back of Parhelion, I am definitely not loving the idea of them just having it on the board perma forever.
Yeah. And we got so many answers to that. We got like 16 answers.
Yeah.
8 counters, borrowers, graveyard hate.
Lots of ways to fuck with it. And we'll see. This is a matchup I've not messed with yet from a blue perspective, so I don't know how good or bad it is. I think we can keep this. Lands and spells. It's got pieces I like.
It's got that hate card.
Turn 1 Thoughtseize, sure. Duress, yeah, alright.
It had that hate card.
Had that hate card. That's alright. They do this now with these Thoughtseize and Duresses postboard, which is why you have to have a density of answers.
Yeah.
And that's really this is the way, you know? Thrilling Discovery. Do you have the Parhelion to discard here? What you gonna do? Okay, so I didn't see no Parhelions. So I'm playing Lords and Going. Because until you show me targets and
Play
enough
Lord
mana
goes
to do
smack
it.
smack.
Right, like until I see targets and shit, I'm not gonna worry about it. There's Parhelion.
Alright.
Now we have to worry about it. And just like that, gotta worry about it. What you gonna do? Do you have Fatal Push? Maybe. Okay, so we can't play the second Lord here.
Nope.
We just got to smack for 1. They'll kill it. We'll get to Geistlight a GreaseFang. They get to hold up, can't stay away. That's pretty brutal. This is not the best position for us at the moment. Yep. I mean, the beautiful thing about this is normally these other decks that are playing up against GreaseFang, this is just a standstill, you know, that you can't get through, and for us, we just flat fucking ignore it every time.
Well, that's looking good for us now.
I think we're on this, and then we'll just smack for 2. They'll kill one of them, but it's unlikely they kill both. Come on. Okay.
Lightning Axe in that deck now, huh?
Yeah, that's fine. They can kill one, and the main thing is that they don't get to kill both. And as long as they can't kill both, we've got, I think, what we need to get moving here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That is a lot of ways to recur GreaseFang. Could use another Soul Guide off the top. We'll see what happens, though.
Wouldn't suck.
Right. To be fair, this is also a matchup where sometimes they just don't have the GreaseFang. We've played it often enough to see that happen multiple times where we're just sitting around like, where's the GreaseFang?
Yep.
30 cards in.
And they're clearly all in on it. Every card in their deck sucks except for GreaseFang.
Do they have the GreaseFang? Not so much, it looks like. Okay.
I guess they've got Thoughtseize and Fatal Pushes, but there's just no action outside of that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're not attacking.
Oh.
Do they just play that? No,
that could have attacked.
Yeah.
I think they were worried about something, but like, I don't know what exactly.
Winning, maybe? Scary.
Hard to say. Hard to say. Also don't know why they're not running Bloodthirsty Adversaries. Those are great in this matchup.
Did we get a season reset, or did we drop out of Mythic?
Season reset.
Okay.
We missed the top 1200 qualifier by 10 slots.
Oh!
I know, it hurt a little.
Oh!
I'm dumping this in a play to get going. They have answers, but we have to get smacking.
Yeah, 4-turn clock is better than a 16-turn clock.
Right. And then there's that. Well, let's get going. All in the air, baby. Looking for GreaseFang so hard. That's gotta feel so rough. Are they gonna Lightning Axe again? I have to assume there's a Lightning Axe sitting in there somewhere, right?
Perhaps.
I mean, why wouldn't you? Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
Wrong target, I think.
Yes. But that's okay. Looking for GreaseFang still. 1, 2. Still no GreaseFang. Wow, that's gotta suck.
That was my belief that it was going to be that way. Sometimes your deck just shits right in your mouth.
Yeah. I don't care about that. Yep. I mean, to be fair, we're sitting here on 7 lands in a 22 land deck, so we've got some issues as well, but nothing like this. I guess they can go into Castle Lochthwain's? I don't know.
That's okay.
I will take 3 damage a turn. We win this.
Easily. Easily win this race.
Yeah.
Well, counter it.
Post-combat? Interesting. We do the Geistlight Snare here. Because that's 3 and this is 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Math and stuff.
Alright, that's awesome.
I'm smacking 4 and passing.
Fuck yeah. Why are you doing that now as Flash?
For fun. And vengeance.
Let's see, 7, that's enough to cast it, counter a thing, draw a card.
Yep. Let's start with the counter thing. Alright, looks like we're getting through GreaseFang. And just like that.
Just what we needed.
Alright, GreaseFang. 2-0.
Hey.
And just like that. And Mardu. Alright, ticking on up here. See what we got. Du Bois followed us. Thank you for the follow, Du Bois. Or is it Du Bois or Du Bois? I can't see if it's an H or a B up here. I don't know.
Du Bois? Tell
Close
us how
enough.
to say it.
Don't lurk, come talk. We need to know. we don't want to mispronounce all the names today. Oh man.
Is it like a dab thing in there?
Yeah, it's like Dab Hoys.
Like kind of like Boston and dabbing.
I feel like it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, Edgewalker. Don't know who you are. Walking them edges, boy. Ugh. No.
No.
Ugh.
Yes.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but yeah.
On the play.
On the play, we go for this. Because we might be able to get like a Geistlight Snare. And that would be enough to just run... Oh god, it's the mirror. Okay.
Well, we're just going to get under them then.
Yeah, we have a good shot at getting under him, and 4 Brazen Borrowers does a lot in this matchup.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, let's play this game.
Not they're going to do shit with 1 mana anyway. Gotta do it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We push this. We have the Brazen Borrowers, so even if they're pumping, we're just like, don't care, keep going. Yep. We will just get going. Please don't have a Brazen Borrower, because anything else you play does not matter. See, there's that. I don't like that there. It does not make sense. Don't have Brazen. You're not that good. Damn it. Damn it.
Attack!
Damn it. Alright, whatever. And I'm just doing this now because we don't want them to counter.
Barf.
Q canned, here we go. It leads to some interesting scenarios. We have Brazen Borrowers like bouncing each other to keep them out of the way of Lords for tempo. It's been a minute since I've seen it, but it is a thing. Yeah. You can swing for 2. You might as well. I'll block with the 1/3, but you can do it. Do we do this now? And just smack for 5?
No. No, we catch them with their pants down. Do things on their turn.
Except they'll have access to counter magic then, and they have as much flash as we do.
Yeah, but we're bigger on board, and we have more mana.
Not exactly enough to pull this off. That's the problem.
What do you mean? We just attack.
Right, but this is the difference of 2 points of damage.
I'm fine giving it up.
Ooh, Du Bois. Sorry was on the phone there. You guys had it right the first time. It's a slang name for Glasgow Celtic football team.
Nice.
Fuck yeah. Glasgow? What is that, Scotland? I feel like Glasgow, Scotland.
Sounds right.
That's awesome. As a ginger, I salute you. Alright, so we give up the 2 points of damage. We smash through here. And the boys team with an accent is Du Bois.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Love it. Love it.
I mean, we just got more mana than them, so they're gonna have to dump it into something because we're winning the race. If they don't do anything, okay, yeah, just bounce that cocksucker now.
Right, because they don't have Geistlight Snare until that comes up.
Right.
So, and Spell Pierce isn't enough here.
Nope.
Let's slip out the back.
That's
Okay.
fine.
And then they don't get the Curious Obsession either.
Yep. That's a trade worth making.
I mean, is this still out? Nice.
Yeah, it's still out.
Oh, that's lovely.
Crush.
Smack, smack, smack. In La La Land these days, enjoying the stream in the first evening of a new season. Oh, thanks. We appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, thank you.
We're having some fun with this one. We're tuning it up for Frodo Vess 83, who qualified in the top 250 of Mythic Limited.
Oh, I must have missed that while I was in Tython.
Right.
Good job, Frodo Vess.
I'm still doing this here. We don't want to give them the ability to just...
Hell no. Yeah, counter that thing.
Right. Like, they have to have a Lofty Denial.
Curious Obsession is what this match is about.
Right. So if they have Lofty Denial, they have a way through there. Otherwise, we're dead even. And, like, we have way more mana to play with here, which means Spectral Sailor starts to do some fun things.
Absolutely.
Which we're going to need. Weird. Weird. Okay. Why Shacklegeist?
I don't know, maybe they'll show us why. Hang on, I'm in favor of dropping that land first.
Not if we draw a Faceless Haven.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay, so no issue there.
I'll just pretend like it's a counter spell and I guess pass.
Yeah. They get a little bit ahead here on what they're doing. These slip out the backs in the main are interesting. It's a very interesting way to go.
Yeah, it's kind of like the old standard deck that played the dive downs and shit.
Right.
I mean, 1 mana counters. I could see it. I'm. You know, where we're maxing out on
adversaries.
Right. Maybe we should be slipping out the back a little bit just to have cheaper stuff.
I could see that.
And.
Okay, so that's gonna get through.
Yes. Yes.
But we should be able to force a counter here. The way they're looking is like there's going to be a counter. And I'd like them to go, oh crap, we've got to do something. Come on.
I don't know why they didn't tap our shit on our end step.
Well, they did. They tapped there.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah. So if I'm reading this right, they're going to screw up here and play a counter or a bounce spell. But that would be a mistake, because it locks them out. Interesting. No, we have lethal on swing back, almost.
Yeah, and we don't want to walk into getting blown out by bounce either.
Right? I mean, they get land, they get borrower.
Borrower matters.
True.
Do they deploy it right now while we're shields down?
Maybe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they have 10, add another 2, 4. Okay, so they've got lethal on crackback. They've got no more cards in hand. I'm smacking everything, and then the top deck bounce spell here should bounce the Supreme Phantom to give us the win. Because what are they going to do, you know?
Yeah.
If they shackle guys, they can tap down one thing.
That is kind of looking relevant. I'm seeing why Shacklegeist is in the deck.
We put them to 4. Math. So much math. Gah. These mirrors. Puts 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no counterspell they draw can keep Brazen Borrower from bouncing a thing. So no matter what the top deck is, they can't fuck with that.
Yeah.
If we smack for 4 here, putting them to 4, I think that's an ideal situation.
Fuck it, let's do it. Some of this is just figuring shit out.
Well, the question is, do we need the last point? Do we need the last point? Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But if we bounce there, they lose 5, putting them back to 11. So we can swing the whole board.
Sure.
Which is gonna be relevant here.
Yeah, I can see that.
And we wait till their combat step, and then we bounce this so that they don't get it during combat. also so that they commit all their resources so Shacklegeist doesn't tap our entire team down.
I am digging the Shacklegeist in the mirror match, though.
It's got a lot to offer in the mirror. Yes. If you want it, you've got to go hard. And if you don't, then I'm just going to bounce the Shacklegeist. Like, if they go all in, we bounce Supreme Phantom. Otherwise, we just bounce the Shacklegeist. Nice. I'm glad you like it, Splinter. We are happy to be making it.
Wow, the YouTube videos. That's cool. Thanks for joining us.
Good old YouTube vids. Let's see. I'm actually curious if you like the time signatures on those. I've been trying to figure out if the relevance level of the time signatures in YouTube videos. Okay, so Ascendant Spirit. They push their shackle over.
Yeah, they haven't finished committing to what their attacks are yet.
Yeah. Come on, get greedy, Edgewalker. I do love that this is where we're at in the match. Like, what a complex board state to try to navigate for both sides. That is premium Magic right there. Okay. We're not playing this game. If they want to go this route...
Yeah, get rid of the big creature, get rid of that Curious Obsession.
Mm-hmm. Like, part of me was debating, do we just wait till end step, bounce the Supreme Phantom?
No.
And that was an option, but, like, they're at 3 life. They're going to get to replay Shacklegeist, but it's not going to be enough. And if they do that, then they get Shacklegeist, they get Borrower. Yeah, we get Borrower too. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we smack through?
Well, let's draw a card and find out. And then possibly draw another card and find out.
Let's see what we get. Interesting. So we can swing... Not a whole lot here, can we? This is an awkward position.
I can tap 2.
No. So was it a mistake to not let Shacklegeist hit and simply bounce the Supreme Phantom?
I doubt it, because I don't think we could have killed anyway. I didn't take a super close look at the math, but they're going to be able to tap some stuff. They would have drawn another card, which would have been a problem.
So we don't really have the ability to swing through here, but we force them to use Shacklegeist if we can by just moving to combat.
Yeah, let's see what they do.
Nothing.
Okay, so...
If we smack everything, nothing's going to get through. We're going to lose our board. Because they'll just block Supreme Phantom to Shacklegeist. The 2/2s will trade across.
They'll just do what they want.
They'll wreck us. So we can't do anything there. So we just go Ascendant Spirit.
And play the land.
Play land, and I'm just going to pump it because... Right?
Yeah, I mean, what are they going to do? Bounce our Brazen Borrower? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. So, the fact that we're ahead by 8 life is the reason we're still in this game, because Shacklegeist is going to do a lot of work here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing the value of it.
For mirror matches, sure. Against most of the format, But I like it for the mirror. Cool. I wasn't really planning on blocking with that. I guess against the swarm of 2/2s we could have, but there's only one it actually blocks against, because these will just pump and kill it. Slip out the back. Doing some serious work here. Shacklegeist definitely doing some work for them.
I'm in favor of trying to get some of those in the main deck.
Okay, so they get to
Slip out the back, that is.
Yeah. So they can do pump, pump. So it's double pump, but whether it's on one or across is the question.
See if they attack first.
They'll swing with something. Really, nothing.
Couldn't even get through the sentence.
That's surprising.
I could see them waiting. They're getting a bunch of mana. You know, they also have a Spectral Sailor.
1, 2, 3, and then 7. So we have enough to get this all the way.
Do they have the ability to do that? Well, they can just... They've got
Shacklegeist.
Right.
Right, but we still want to force this issue.
Do we want to just draw another card?
Yes, but I want to see if they Shacklegeist the Ascendant Spirit first. Because if they don't, I will swing with it. Because that'll trade even across to theirs, I guess? No, it'll trade over theirs. If they let me swing with it, it's a clear-cut victory there. Well, at least 2 for 1 on that basis. And a 2 for 1's exactly what they can't afford with Shacklegeist here. And that's fine, because what I really want to do with Spectral Sailor is draw 2 cards, which we're about to do. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Still can't quite
No
do it.
profitable attack.
Yeah. So let's start with a card and see if we get a Faceless Haven. Not so much. And we can wait.
Yep. So Rattle Chains, is that the one that gives something hexproof when it drops in?
Yeah, it'll be kind of nice against the Shacklegeist, actually. And right now we're holding up the ability to use Ascendant Spirit, Sailor, and Rattle Chains.
Yeah.
That's a good top deck. Alright. So they get to tap down 2 more cards. So Lantern Bearer and Phantom get tapped.
Imagine the look on their face when the anger of the gods.
Oh my god. Wouldn't that be lovely? Ugh.
All our islands just transform into mountains.
Right. Okay, so Brazen Borrower. Do we just Rattle Chains here to keep Brazen Borrower up against them?
This is on our turn?
Yeah, it's the end of our turn.
No, because it's a bad blocker anyway. If they're going to try and push through here, we can use the Rattle Chains to maybe save something if they're trying to tap down.
Fair. Definitely the weirdest game 1. We're sitting at almost a 10-minute game 1 of 2 aggro decks. And without Shacklegeist, this game would have been over a long time ago.
Yeah, it's looking good.
But if we grab another Brazen Borrower, I know we've seen 2. I'm glad we have 4. You were right. Although Patrician Geist also would be pretty spicy here for Lords and count there. And as always, if you're watching on other platforms, come to Twitch. It's where the party is.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting around lurking, come talk to us. We are moderately available, as it were. Just an Ascendant Spirit. Okay. So, let's see. 2, 3, yeah, we're taking it.
Yep.
We're taking it.
It's better than getting Abyssed right now.
Yeah. Can't afford an Abyss against the Shacklegeist. They're gonna get the double pump, but if they do that... I'm actually curious if they go for the double pump. It's a little bit risky, to say the least. You're an inanimate object. Thank you, Dart Zero. Yes. Yes, this is the energy. These are the vibes. Ow, that's risky. Alright. They're not lurking. Attaboy. Don't lurk. We'll wait. Okay, so 5 points. Sure. 5 points to Gryffindor. Let's get into it.
I'm in favor of drawing.
Yeah, we need to see a few more cards here. As much as I want to pump this, Shackle really does number on it. Well, that was a nice, spicy drop. Ooh, Supreme Phantom. Fuck yeah. Doing that.
Well, that matters.
That matters a lot. Combat math got a lot easier for us and a lot
Look at
harder
opponent going like, fuck!
This doesn't really matter here. So, right? Like, what are we throwing it on?
Let's take a gander. So, I kind of don't like it while they've got that Shacklegeist.
Then again, let's look at mana efficiency here. Yeah, I hate it with the Shacklegeist, but the question is, does it force them to play more tap-down wars that we want them to be playing? Because we have the mana efficiency to go... That is already level 2, so level 3 is 3 mana, 4, 5, 6. So that's perfect mana efficiency if we go that route.
Okay.
But they should be tapping this down, and they will probably tap down whatever we put on that.
Right.
Which eliminates 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, let's say 4. Leaving 3 back, then they're dead. So they can't really afford to tap things down right now.
Okay.
Which means I want...
Oh, yeah, and we can also just counter it with the rattle chains when they try and do it the first time.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And I think this gives us a sneaky in. Let's see if it works. The rattle chains is going to be the difference maker here if it works.
Rattle them chains.
Rattling all them chains. Okay. What a weird game. And they're sitting at under 20 minutes already. Oh, Edgewalker. If this goes to 3, it could be a very spicy 3.
Oh, fuck yeah, we're still on game 1. Oh, wow, really? Yeah, just push them in. Fuck math.
Fuck math, everything's lethal. It's all 3s across the board.
Math is for cowards.
Oh, man. Also, we're at 6. We don't really have time to fuck around with this just tapping down our board on end step.
No.
Like, this was the turn that has to happen. Okay. And I think they have the ability to keep us from getting lethal, but in exchange, Rattle Chains plus the remaining Supreme Phantom should be enough to keep them from getting lethal to us.
They're going to lose a lot of creatures here.
Oh, yeah. They've got to do individual blocks across the board. Like, we're going to lose the Supreme Phantom. But they're...
Are we?
Oh, yeah. They get to do a double block there. That was the price of this. Was they get one favorable double block, but they lose the Shackle guys.
Are they going to do that, though?
They should. It should be. Wow, they're not so far. Interesting. Interesting.
I mean, they've got to see it.
Yeah, you know, they could be watching the stream. Edgewalker, if you're out there lurking.
They could be disagreeing with our plays. Yeah, see, they thought about doing it on the Lantern Bearer of all things. Okay, they found it. They found the play.
That was still the wrong one.
Wow, yeah, that's not the way to do that.
It's still very much not the right way to do it, but I approve of the fact that they're trying. So,
Deal.
Yeah. Does this trample at any point? No. Okay.
Just
damage through.
Yeah, tap the Supreme Phantom is my guess here.
Yeah, which we can't stop because they can do it multiple times.
Right, yeah, just let it happen.
But then we're just going to flip this back, and that doesn't give it trample. So they're trying to win on the crackback like that. Yeah. That's why they're willing to sack the whole board here. And... go.
Wait, shit.
We don't want the Lantern Bearer.
Well, I was going to suggest just playing the Rattle Chains. Oh, because what are they going to do? I guess they could draw...
I want them to go all in.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to think, like, do they have the mana to play a thing, pump that? Right, because if they've got a counter spell...
They have to have a Lofty Denial.
But if we played it on our turn, we could have avoided that problem.
True. But they're not that lucky.
We shall see. Are they slow rolling us right now?
What a slow roll it would be.
Or is this just that time where they're like looking at the board and figuring out there's got to be a way? There's got to be a way.
Yep, there it is. Oh, that's as close as it gets. Okay, slip out the backs are a big deal here. Right?
Maybe, what's it better than? Let's start with that. I don't think it is. Because we don't want to reduce the number of bodies we have.
Is it better than counters in this matchup?
I believe so, because a counter spell is a removal spell.
So you'd rather have a counter?
Yeah. Yeah, once stuff's on the board, it just like, it attacks, it blocks, right?
Sure.
We've got Brazen Borrowers. I don't know a lot of these deck lists that can even side up to 4 of those, so I think that's our edge.
Sure. So there's a version of this deck, by the way, that does not have Slip Out the Backs that plays 4 Mystical Dispute on the side. And perhaps this is a moment to pause and consider whether that would be correct moving forward.
Well, I'm into the... I think so, because I'm into the idea of getting some of the slip out the backs in the main, so we have the ability to, you know, turn one a 1-drop, and then if they want to wait and hold their removal, or if we do it on their end step, then we can have, like, the Curious Obsession with slip out the back as backup.
Okay, so there's definitely going to be some adjustments after this match.
Yeah, there's some cards in the main deck here that I think are like not awesome. Spectral Adversary I think is not awesome.
I don't like it as a 4 of. I actually like it as a 2 of, because it's basically a 4-drop that can be a 2-drop in a pinch.
Yeah.
And I like that as a 2 of, because sometimes you just need a spirit to beat with that, but
That's
4 of
reasonable.
these is a lot. And it's the same effect as Slip Out the Back, except it costs more
way
mana.
more mana, which is a big deal.
Right, which is why I think there's a bounce to be had of 2/2.
Well, it's not exactly the same effect because the creature's not going to come back bigger.
Yeah, it does. +1/+1 counter.
Yeah, but not when you do it with Spectral Adversary.
No, that gets the counters. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So probably the way we'll shift is we'll shift 2 of these in the main, 2 of those out, and then get rid of the last 2 and throw 4 Mystical Disputes on the board.
I would like to find a way to get all the slip out the backs in the main deck if we possibly can.
I'll be curious to see what we can do on that front. I'm not 100% sure where we can push. I mean, it counters. We can't go below a certain threshold of creatures, right?
I'm not sure where that threshold is.
It's got to be relative. I mean, Lantern Bearers is where I would get rid of it, honestly. As much as I like having
Perhaps,
those,
yeah,
they are
perhaps.
the other weak creature in this list.
I think you could cut 1.
Okay, go to 9 1-drops
Yep. I
and
think
get
you could
3.
cut 1.
I could see that. All right, Edgewalker. It's either going to be your night or ours. Seems fine. Land spells,
Yeah.
things and stuff.
Curious Obsession, that's important.
Yeah. Bounce, also important. It's got about everything you want for a solid opening, right? And they're debating whether to keep 7. And while they debate, down goes the clock even further.
Yeah, that's relevant. What's our clock at?
I think we're in the 20s.
Oh, bro, we're streaming. What's your excuse?
Right? They're probably also streaming, right? Oh my. Okay. Snow-covered island. They went to 6. Cool. Out we go. So ideally they get to go Spectral Sailor, Curious Obsession with a Geistlight Snare back to keep Brazen Borrower from bouncing it.
That, or Can't Stay Away,
Okay.
or whatever it's called.
We're just going to ship it back, and then we're going to have a
Yep.
Spectral Adversary coming
Yep,
in.
absolutely.
And
No.
that's a window right now.
No.
It's a window, though.
Don't you want to save that Brazen Borrower for the Curious Obsession they might be trying to resolve?
I mean, even if they do, they'd have to resolve a Curious Obsession and bash through this, which is a 2/1, so it'll trade with anything here, right?
Unless they have a Brazen Borrower to bounce it and then play the Curious Obsession and get through.
Sure. Alright.
We have more cards. Let's just preserve our advantage. Look at that. We got like a full grip. They have 3 fucking cards.
Okay.
Give them no edges, no finger holds.
So here I'm doing, I think, a Phantom first, which they should counter, and then a Curious Obsession to smack through. Because they can only get one. Unless they have Mystical Disputes, 1 counter spell's all they can have. And if they go counter, we're still ahead by a pretty fair margin. But I want to force the counter spell on the first of these if we can. There it is.
Okay, see if they've got the other one.
No counter unless it's Mystical Dispute. Okay. Still smacking.
Oh, I would not have done that
Why?
because they might play the Curious Obsession, in which case I would have wanted to block whatever creature they put it on.
We'll just bounce. After they draw a card, it's a 1-for-1 still, and we get 2 points in. And when they're playing with the Shackle guys, we have to get ahead. Let's see.
I'm saying we're way ahead though on mana, on cards, on everything.
So do they have the final counter spell? Nope. Cool. Smack, smack. Now, here's the other question. Do we bounce this right now, or do we wait for them to do it again?
Wait.
Okay.
I'm generally in favor of making really conservative plays when we're this far ahead.
Let's see. Alright, so unless that last card's Mystical Dispute, we can afford to block the Ascendant Spirit. Because if we do that, they bump it, we borrow it. And they get blown out, basically. And that should be enough to actually give us the edge for the whole game. If they have a top-decked Mystical Dispute, we get blown out. But that's what it takes.
That's what it takes.
And the odds of them having that are real low in the top 10 cards. Okay, we'll just let this through, since they're not smacking. I'm fine not risking a blowout here.
Yep.
And if they pump this right now, I'm still just borrowing. Okay.
So I guess just sail.
Yeah.
Sail!
Still a thing.
This is how I shit my pants.
Putting it on Sailor here,
Oh,
I think.
really?
Where do you want it?
No, that actually makes sense. Although...
Because it's the cheapest to bounce back, right?
It is, although if we put it over there, it still has a 3-bud. And if that returns to our hand, it has value when we recast it.
Okay. Let's see what they do. Everything swings. We have a bounce effect. Odds are they're just going to draw a card with Spectral Sailor here, which, cool. Totally fine with that. Wow, that's a lot that they're letting through. Alright. This is where I like to be. Are you drawing a card?
Yep.
Cool. We don't need to bounce anything then.
My guess is the other card was an island.
Yeah. Are you going to bounce the Phantom? Are you going to bounce the Adversary? Like, none of those are worrisome to me. I'm a little jealous of these Mystical Disputes, frankly. The fact that they have the Shacklegeist and the Mystical Disputes big game in the mirror. Although, as we saw, not decisive game. The Brazen Borrowers were more important than the Shacklegeists in the end.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like Brazen Borrower's a better card or something.
Yeah. Alright. Edgewalker, what you got? 2 cards, 5 mana.
Walking the edge.
Clear Hearts can't lose, right? Entrancing Melody.
Oh, man. Entrancing Melody.
So we get to bounce
That's
it back.
a throwback. Yeah.
Thankfully.
Hell yeah, we do.
But we'll wait for the swing.
Let them crack it. Although, maybe they won't crack in.
That's an interesting sideboard option I haven't messed with.
Back from the old standard version of this deck.
Okay, do we want to be very conservative and wait till our turn to make sure we get around Mystical Dispute?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Because that's
Let's
real bad
not,
otherwise.
Yeah, let's not let ourselves get blown out. Let's just be careful. Dispute this, motherfucker. Do they trade 2 sailors for 1 sailor?
What do you do with the Drunken Sailor? Early in the morning. Going down to 2.
Okay, I think we just won the game.
Should be pretty much, yeah. Should be. We've got another threat plus a threat here. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
Looking good.
I mean, Brazen Borrower gives them some time. Less than 12 minutes over here already. We're still sitting at almost 18. Lots of decisions to be made, Edgewalker. Lots of decisions.
I think they know they're screwed, though. Are we doing that here?
I guess the Spectral Sailor's the same. No, but not if they bounce there. We're playing one of these two.
I think it's...
but this
the Spectral Sailor so we can get the better effect out of the adversary if we need it.
I guess if they're going to jump that, we want to be able to phase that out if we need to. Because that'll jump to a 4/4. That feels good. I'm just animating this and smacking.
Yep, definitely.
Because we have Lofty Denial.
Definitely.
So whatever they have, it's got to get through all of this. And I'll leave the Supreme Phantom back. Everything else can go.
Yep. Everything else is lethal. What you gonna do?
With all that junk. What do you possibly have at 5 mana? Because, like, you've got to jump that to block anything except the Faceless Haven. No.
Nay.
Nay. Nay to this. And if you want to deal with that, you still are missing a blocker.
They're thinking about that, yes.
Put a little spice on it. Just for them. A little bit of spice. A little celebratory spice. Hey, Otano1, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you stopping by. All right, that was spicy. So they get to go 1-for-1s on the Spectrals? No, that's not going to work out well for them.
For a very brief period, we had 69 followers.
And now we have 70. So it goes. All right, so they go to 1. Yeah, I'm still pretty okay with where this is.
They can't possibly do it.
All right, there we go. 2-0 the mirror. Time to make some adjustments.
Made it.
Time to make some adjustments. Made a deck similar to this earlier today. Wanted 10 1-drop creatures and completely overlooked Lantern Bearer. Went with 2 Siren Storm Tamers to protect Lords. Should probably go with the Bearers to keep the spirit count up. It needs Mausoleum Wanderer. Yeah, it does. Fuck, I wish we had... If we had Mausoleum Wanderer and, like, maybe Spell Queller, that would be dope. Which...
You know, yeah, but then the deck would be building itself. I like it when it's like this and there's just tensions in the deck building and you actually get to make decisions as a deck builder versus just like, oh, we just play all the things.
So that versus Lantern Bearer is kind of interesting.
Is Lantern Bearer spirit?
Yes. That's the question. Is
right,
this better?
Here's the question, though, because like we can actually play probably just better cards straight up if we get away from spirits, but we need them for the counter, don't we?
Well, it also plays well with Rattle Chains because it gives all this stuff flash. And Rattle Chains is a big deal. But let's say we get away from that for a second. Let's just move into creatures.
Look at the uncommons, too.
And I'm going to go into flying here and just see what we have for flyers, right?
Actually, common as well at that mana cost.
Okay. Well,
everything, yeah.
Just creatures with flying. So Delver, no thank you. Terramander, not in this build. That's not what that's for. The rest of these are meh at best. I don't think Wind Robber's good enough without rogues, and this is definitely not. So, hilarious, but probably not good enough. It's got some weird things that it can do, but ultimately it's a bad flying. Well, it's a better flying man, but
it's a way better flying man.
Way better flying man, but still not good enough for this format. So that's the only other 1-drop that's worth a shit. It's Lantern Bearer or it's Siren Storm Tamer.
I think it's Lantern Bearer.
I like the Lantern Bearer for the spirit effect. I don't know if that's
being an enchantment later.
Right. Yeah, it's not an it's a relevant bump, and sometimes you have enough mana to throw it on a Faceless Haven and go to the Dome for 5 or 6. We could play our own Ledger Shredder. I don't think it's worth it, but it's a thing.
We'd be moving away from spirits to do it.
Yeah, we'd be moving into Izzet Phoenix, which is not really where I want to be. Shacklegeist is a thing. That's when we go super spirit heavy. That would be moving away from Brazen Borrowers to do that.
I'm not into that.
No, I think Borrower's too strong a card to say no to. I mean, Narcomoeba, man. We all remember the Dredge days. They were beautiful. I loved them. This is actually kind of a fun sideboard option at some point that we can look at. This is for the Witch's Oven decks. To just steal the Witch's Oven and turn off their thing.
That's funny, but don't they have like instant speed, sack an artifact, draw cards kind of stuff?
They have some, yeah, but it forces it and it's still a 2-1. So it's interesting, but I don't think it's good enough.
1 toughness is not great against that deck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to side into 1 toughness.
We've already taken a look at this. I don't know that it's good enough. It's interesting as a draw engine because you can just like exile a creature.
Let's see. Exile target, you may look at the top card of your library. I'm kind of interested in that, maybe in the sideboard for the mirror match.
Like that's an experimental frenzy for us.
Right. Or if we've got to get kind of mid-rangey. I like the idea of like, let's maybe try and fit 1 or 2 in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a couple in for the moment and take a look. So Dream Shacklegeist is still a thing if we want to try that, but again, that would be occupying similar territory to Brazen Borrower. I don't think it's worth it.
No. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing here is really popping off. Basic Island, that's still oof.
It's not as good as it looks like it is, and we'd have to drop the Faceless Havens.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, Faceless Haven's still better than Tempest Djinn. You're right. And now we're into 4 mana, which is too expensive for this deck.
Not happening.
And I'll do a craft thing just to make sure. I'm pretty sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah. Those are bad and don't matter. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So, if those are out, then... Hey, what up, Shadow? Appreciate you stopping by.
Hello again.
I promise you I'm working on the shout-out thing. I will get it squared. It's just going to be a moment.
A lie is going to make it rectangular. let's get some of those in the main.
And slip out the back. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm at.
So we can definitely dump
Let's
2 adversaries.
peel a couple of those. I'm in favor of peeling 1 Lantern Bearer.
I'm fine with the 3 slip out the back scenario. I don't know that we need all 4. If we're going to go the 4th one, I think we have to lose one of the counters. Because how many creatures do we have?
No, we
23.
keep the counters. We keep the counters for sure.
So we're at 23 creatures. That's pretty close to the bottom edge of what I'd want for this list.
Yeah, I like where that's at.
So now we have, let's see, Cemetery Eliminators. We're 1 card over here.
I think pull probably a Mystical Dispute.
Just go to 3.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay.
Unless we want a 4th slip out the back against something. But I don't think so. 3's probably plenty.
3 seems fine. I think we'll be alright there. Love having you tuning in there, brother. It's good times. Once I figure out the shout-out thing, I'm going to have some fun with that. Alright, we are sitting at 3-1 with the list. We lost to Izzet Phoenix in a very narrow set of 3. Then we 2-0'd Rakdos Mid, Mardu GreaseFang, and the Mirror. And on we go.
Let's beat someone else.
Yeah, we're already in Plat Tier 3, and we're only a few hours into the new season. So, we'll see what we can do.
Oh, I wonder if my draft or my limited score degraded enough for me to just like walk through drafts again.
Probably, right?
I only played a little right at the beginning.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still has a nice curve. And them curves is what we about. Let's see. That'll be spicy. This will be a good game to... Okay, we're going up against humans on a mold of 5. Wow.
I don't think they're going to be targeting our shit very much.
No. The question is, do they have a 2-drop that's really relevant, or are we going to get a Lofty Denial and Guy Slade? Ah, there it is.
That's mildly relevant, yes.
That's annoying. Okay.
There's one thing we can do.
Well, we can also just hold and pump it, but that's basically the same thing as playing this.
Yes, it is.
So I'd rather just go this route and leave it back.
Really?
First strike, not flying.
Oh, not flying, yeah.
Oof.
Yikes.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
They just got under us.
They got under us so hard here. Oof. How are we going to deal with this nightmare? We're going to pass the turn to start. And then we're going to debate lines of play.
My guess is...
We're going to have to do better than this. This is going to have to get countered. Or else everything goes up.
Yeah. That's unfortunate because
We're going to take another...
They don't need it.
And we're going to take another 6. So humans might be a terrible matchup in retrospect.
It logically is.
Fuck.
Take it.
Yeah, there's no way to not. Okay. Is this enough?
It's better than holding up counters.
Well, it's not about the counters. It's a question of, like, Brazen Borrower to bounce a Thalia.
Perhaps. But then they would just replay it, and it would still be a 3-2, and we would be in the same position.
Yeah, that's true.
Versus now, we can block it and kill it unless they pump it more. What the fuck does that do?
Legendary humans are indestructible.
God damn it!
So much pressure here. Holy fuck. We pass it on back.
Yeah, now we have to.
And it can exile cards from graveyards to make more humans, which in turn make that bigger. So this is the humans list. It's been a minute.
It looks good.
It looks strong. Okay, Thalia, you're going away. I need mana.
Yep, get out of here, Thalia.
Need mana to do things. Off you go. Okay. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I think we gotta pass back.
Yeah,
And we see what they do.
but we counter the Thalia, and then we bump this up.
They may not play Thalia.
Oh, they're so playing Thalia. What? Why? Why? Against a mono blue deck? What
They
are you...
really want that land.
Okay, so if they do this...
Fuck it, let them have it.
Yeah.
For sure.
For
And
sure.
then bounce something.
And we can't bounce this as much as I want to because it bumps everything else. So I'm bouncing this because these are the counters we don't want them to have.
Yeah. Yeah, eventually that'll kill a creature. Okay, more mana. That's very nice.
I think we have to start swinging in the air with 1.
Okay.
It's 1 that goes, and we're looking to play a Brazen Borrower and counter whatever they do.
Yeah.
So that we can get ahead. Like, we've got a weird window here that might work to our advantage.
No, I think we can get it. I think we can get it.
It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be real, real tight. It just depends on how they play out. Okay.
I think bounce it.
No, I'm blocking and pumping.
Oh, true.
And then I have a counter if they try to do anything. I don't know why they made this mistake.
Probably because, like me, they're just not used to mono blue creatures having access to monsters.
Okay, well, that was possibly the game.
Yes, it was.
I was like, that's a big deal.
Bingo! That's a bingo.
This feels like a terrible matchup, though. Holy shit, and we have
Okay.
nothing for it.
The Cemetery Illuminator I do like here because of its toughness and its ability to give us more stuff. What's it better than is the question. It's better than Slip Out the Back.
What are they going to have? Giant Killers in the main, and they're...
Mystical Dispute's better than Slip Out the Back.
I don't think so, because they should have Skyclaves or Brutal Cathars. They should have 4 Brutal Cathars.
Okay.
So I'm fine holding 1 for that exact reason.
Okay.
But, and these are just dead against them pretty much, especially on the draw.
On the draw, yeah.
Like, this deck is all 1 and 2 drops. It gets under us so hard.
What about a Cerulean Drake?
For what? Nothing's red?
For a flyer?
Oh, I'm fine keeping one of these because this will at least pump one of our guys.
All right, let's roll.
Yeah, this is just not a good matchup. If we sneak another win out of the next 2, that's awesome, but I do not think this is a matchup we should be winning. Which, to be fair, if Humans is the one that gets us, that's fine, because I don't think it's a big part of this format yet. Yep. Me?
I think so, yeah.
I think we have to be the aggro deck because of that.
Well, You don't want to chump block it?
Smacking.
Yeah, totally.
They're not going to be dumb enough to block. And we're just going to play flyer. Or would we just pump it?
I don't think we pump this here. I don't think we play a flyer either. I think we wait to either borrow or pump based on what we see.
Okay. Hold it up like we've got counters.
Yeah, make them play conservatively, if we can.
Okay. It has to go here.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
Yep.
They're
Let's
crunched
see.
on white mana.
Yeah, thankfully they played their land pre-combat, which was... Oh, come on.
Wow.
Who gets that too? Oh my god. Alright, I'm just doing this.
That was probably the place for Faceless Haven. I don't think we'd be attacking with it next turn, but...
Yeah. Alright, so they get in for 3. Really? Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, if they have another removal spell, so be it, but I'm going to force them to have it twice. And I'm fine trading it 1-for-1 here with the Lantern coming back. We're also far enough behind that I think we have to go that route. I think we're just passing here.
Yeah.
Because my guess is they're aiming for a Coco on their turn.
What the fuck are they... Oh, right.
3 color. It's Abzan.
Hey, that's cool.
We're letting it resolve, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, I guess if we force them to start blitzing it, that's a lot of life they're going to lose.
They don't have the mana to blitz.
Not yet.
They don't have the mana to do shit. They've got green up. I don't think they're going to have a spell to play here.
Okay, so I think we do the same trade.
Yeah.
Hey, what up, Sharpie Marker?
Sharpie Marker.
Nicely done. Okay. Smack them for 1.
Yep.
And we'll have Brazen Borrower plus a Geistlight Snare, and... God, that's probably not enough, but we're going for it. It's... We'll see. We'll see. If they paid 2 life, we just counter it, right? We can't afford to lose 7 points of damage here.
But we could...
And we got to keep the Faceless Haven.
Yeah.
Like, this is just mana efficiency play. Because now it's only 3 points instead of 7, and we get this out.
Right.
Which lets us smack back for 4. They hit for 3. We can actually smack back for 8. Do they get... Wait. Do they have lethal?
They've got that creature land.
Right. That's the question.
But it can only attack for 2, maybe 3 if they play another, so no.
Well, they can swing for 3 right now. Right?
Right.
1, 2, 3. So if they play an untapped land, they have 4, 5, 6, 7. But if we don't swing here, we're probably losing this race anyway. Because if we swing this, it's going to be 5, 6, 8. Puts them to 8.
So maybe we leave back the Phantom.
Hit them for 7, leave back the Phantom?
Yeah, Phantom's our least valuable card on the board right now.
Okay.
And actually, after we attack, we can play that Lantern Bearer.
True.
And we could put it...
Brazen. The reason we do Brazen is so that
For the
we
race.
have... yeah, we have lethal with these these 2 when this dies.
Yep, I agree. Alright, opponent.
Coco. Removal. Game. If you got it, you got it. I can't stop it if you've got everything, but if you're dumb enough to play land, swing with layer, we get it. So, fuck it.
Do it.
Fuck it. And if you blitz that stupid thing again, we also get
Does
it.
layer get reach, or is it just big?
It does not get reach.
So its ability is that it's big.
Yeah. Yeah. Big, fat, dumb. That's all it is.
That is my least favorite of the creature lands.
Mine's the white one, actually. I really don't like that one.
Oh, I think it's a worse card, but I don't like Lair because on Arena, if you have any mana up, it's always like, do you want to activate it for 0?
That's like the top.
I would cut it from decks just so I don't have to deal with that.
It is like the white sensei top almost.
Right.
Okay, so that's a 5. Sure. You can swing at me for 5. I will not mess with that. Okay, now you've got exactly enough. Let's see. Yep, that's 7. Now we block. Got it.
And now we block.
But if we can get any creature off the top here,
Hey.
nice. So we can...
Do we want to attack first so they, make their decisions based on what's in their hand?
Well, here's the better question. Sacrifice 2 humans, 4 or greater. So if we do this, we force them to block.
Yeah.
But that also leaves us dead to removal? Are we dead to removal anyway?
They have removal. It's on that creature.
Right.
I think we make it, smash it, drop Phantom, hope for the best.
Yeah, this at least forces their hand.
Remember, we have all these untapped, islands. They're
Oh, that was stupid.
Why?
If we play the Phantom, they don't get to trade it.
Oh!
They have to block with the General in that scenario. Well, they did it anyway.
Shit.
No, they did it anyway. We're fine. It's the same difference now. As long as they block with General, it's the exact same thing. Because then we can get rid of General. So they don't get a removal spell off that. And...
Yep.
Okay, it's not the same. Shit. Because if we had played it first, then that would have died after the Lord effect goes out.
Oh, God.
But then they may not... Well, they still would have blocked. They just would have chumped. So it would have been the same if they were playing smart. And here all we're trying to do is not have that get hit with a removal spell. Because if it doesn't get hit with a removal spell, I think we have exactly enough to stay alive at 1 life. Because they can blitz the dog, make that a 3-3, so 3-6, we go to 1, we win on the crackback. So this at least forces them to have something of relevance in their hand, because the board state as it is, we win. Which is way fucking better than I thought we were going to do with this deck for Game 2, on the draw against humans. Okay. So they can make it a 4-4, that's still not enough.
Not enough.
It's still not enough. The last card, if it's a land, we win this game. Flat. Come on! One
Basically,
time.
if it's anything but removal.
Yes! Oh.
I can't believe we got away with that shit.
I can't fucking believe it either.
Well, Sharpie, you made it for a good 15 minutes.
Be one of those D&D players who needs a pet healer. Yes. 100%. Need our clerics. We need our clerics. Oh my god. That was intense. That was a great game. Okay, I'm loving this blue deck already. We've had like 4 or 5 games that have just been...
Yeah.
So cool. Any alterations?
Let's take a peek at it.
Okay. So far, we are sitting at 4-1. Obviously, we had to get a little lucky against humans, but Phoenix had to get a little lucky against us. And I felt like we had solid wins against GreaseFang, the Mirror, and Rakdos.
I think we should perhaps consider Fading Hope on the sideboard in some number.
Fading Hope.
Is that the unsummon that's better than unsummon?
More human than a human?
Yeah. Just to have some more cheap interaction, or perhaps even slide one into the main if we can. Although I don't see room for it unless we were to cut one of the slips.
It'd be slip versus fading, yeah. I don't know. I
I
feel
think
like
with 4 borrowers, we probably don't need that in the main.
What are you wanting it for in the side? Let's start there.
Well, I'm thinking just a little bit more cheap interaction for these decks that are trying to get under us. And actually, I think we could afford to slide one in over a Soul Guide Lantern because we would still side it in against GreaseFang.
Okay. I like the argument there. I like that argument a lot. And dump it in right there.
The sideboard, I think, is going to continue to need work. These mono blue sideboards are like a work of art.
Yeah.
And ours is not there yet. But it's stuff like that where you got a Fading Hope because we would still want that against GreaseFang, and it's going to have some uses in other places.
Right.
And we need to be looking for stuff like that, in my opinion.
Yeah. Stuff that's going to be, what would you call it, essentially like ambidextrous in terms of application. You know, like it's going to hit multiple decks in just marginal ways that we need.
Yeah, just nice and flexible cards that give us more options.
Yeah. Yes, this is definitely why I wanted you to play League with me, Irrationally Virgo. Yes, there are like 3 different healer champions, and I was like, come on. You rightfully surmised that one.
I'm questioning 4 Cerulean Drake.
Yeah, I don't know that that's correct either. For this, okay, I'll put it this way. The reason for this is the same reason to play Red Cap Melee. You just want to make sure they don't get under you for a red deck. And this does a really good job. Like, worst case scenario, it will trade even 1-for-1 with a Bone Crusher.
Sure.
Best case scenario, it stops them in their tracks and lets you win the game.
Yeah, I get that.
So I'm fine with these for now because I've seen enough mono red over the last few days, including us playing it, that...
What about the Aether Gust then? Because do we need that much?
I don't know on Aether Gusts. I really don't know on this one.
You know, because we also have the Mystical Disputes that against mid-range decks would be kind of doing a similar job, maybe a better job.
I'd find flipping one of these for another Mystical, actually, because I kind of wanted another Mystical anyway for the mirror. Like, this is just a 1-mana counter for the mirror match, and I like winning mirrors.
I'm not sure that 4 Mystical's right either, though. I'd like to...
Well, let's say we cut out the Aethers. We've got 2 slots sitting here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking we're going to be struggling with? That's probably the first place to go. Like, what matchup are we worried about?
What is available to us? So what can we do that's like removal-ish? Oh shit, yeah, there's that gain control for mana cost X.
Oh, Entrancing Melodies.
Entrancing Melody would be quite good against some of these like white decks that are stacking up one creature really big.
Yeah, that's true. Against humans, that would have been a big game to grab that 6/6 or any of them, really. But...
Mana Wars are going to be really strong against some of those matchups. So I'd go Baron.
What?
Baron is probably the best Mana War available to us, like the creature.
Baron? Oh, what the fuck is this? I've actually literally never seen this card. So it's Mana War, and if it's put into our hand, we draw a card? Okay.
It's pretty unlikely that we do that, but...
So basically it's just a Mana War.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we like Fading Hope it or something, or...
I'm willing to say that's probably not right, but these Entrancing, these feel like they could be very strong.
The Mana War thing worked really well in Standard against these kind of white decks that got at you quick.
Sure.
Because, yeah, they'd bounce the thing that got kind of big and they'd trade for the other thing or just hold it back for a while. It'd buy time. And importantly, it does not give a flying fuck about Thalia. It still costs 3 mana.
Well, if we're going to go that route, I think the Fading Hope is where we pull, because this is trying to do a Mana War job in many scenarios.
There's logic there. Yep, there's logic there.
And push it something like that.
Let's see what other Mana Wars there are.
Return?
Yeah.
Alright. This is the Slip Out the Back before Slip Out the Back, which is not as good because even though it's going to still do the counter, it
drops the enchantment off.
Yup. Not great. These are not creatures. Now we got the best one already. God, I love that in draft. What a monster that was in the zombie deck. So cool. So we have literal Mana War here. What is this? It's kind of interesting. It turns all our creatures into Curious Obsessions. I don't know. That's interesting. The fact that that has the ability to turn everything onto a Curious Obsession is very unique. Is this any good?
It just has a lot of text. That's what it does.
Okay, like wall of text.
It makes you read for 5 minutes and then sometimes deceives you.
We're not in white.
No, we're not.
Okay, so this is interesting.
That is interesting.
I don't know if it's better than a Cemetery Illuminator. The lack of flying really bothers me.
The lack of flying, the 2 toughness. I mean, people are going to bring in removal against us.
Yeah.
It's 3 mana and easy to kill.
It's adorable that we can bounce our creatures back if they get blocked.
Yeah.
But we don't have enough ETB to really take advantage of that.
No.
And that's what you'd want. I guess Brazen Borrow would be kind of adorable for that, but that's it.
That never gets blocked.
Right. So that's probably where we'd leave off version 1.0 of...
Yeah, that's a fine place to start.
So for those watching, this is where we would take the deck to start. And just start testing from there and figure out some numbers. Questions worth figuring out. I mean, is the second Lantern Bearer necessary? Are 3 Slip Out the Backs correct? Are Patrician Geists a good call? Is 2 Spectral Adversary a good call? Most of the rest of this feels pretty locked, honestly. Because
yeah.
I'm not really fucking with Rattle Chains, Phantom, Sailor, Curious, or Ascendant. And the Lofty Denials and the Geistlight Snares also feel strong. The mana base is as tight as it can get. And I don't want an Otawara. I just don't.
I'm into the 9/1 drops.
Yeah. And so, yeah, the question turns into Slip Out the Back, Spectral Adversaries, and 1 Lantern Bearer. And that's about all the room there is to play with the main of this before you turn into a very different deck.
In my opinion, for a Curious Obsession deck, the question is, do you play 9 or do you play more than 9/1 drops?
Yeah.
I wouldn't go below 9 with 9 available.
Sure. And the sideboard, this is a good starting spot, too.
The question with Baron versus Exclusion Mage is, do we think the secondary ability on Baron is better than being able to not need 2 blue mana to cast it?
This also bounces Planeswalkers, so I'm saying Baron's better.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. Yeah, Baron is better.
And, I mean, I'm not worried about the blue sources. There's going to be 1 rare game, maybe.
Yeah, it'll happen sometimes. But it might not happen when we have Baron and want to do it.
And that's whether or not... And also we start to get into whether or not we're going to need a Mana War effect. I don't know. This is the highest question mark card, followed by the Cemetery Illuminators. I don't know if these 3 are going to end up in the list after a certain amount of time, but it's worth trying them.
Yeah, I mean, the Cemetery Illuminator, I like that for the matches where we just... Yeah, like there's no removal, the mirror match.
Yeah.
And card advantage determines the outcome.
Yeah, and in the mirror, we have 5 cards to board in, which is good. I'm not boarding in Trancing Melodies against Brazen Borrower decks.
Oh, absolutely not.
Well, they saw how good that was against us.
No, that's for, like, the red decks and the white decks.
Yeah, and I love having 2 of these in there for that. I think that plus the Cerulean Drakes are going to be great against those red decks. They're not going to know what hit them. And against the white decks, we at least have a couple cards of relevance here.
And Baron.
And Baron would be of relevance there as well. We did end up shaving essentially 1 slot for the GreaseFang list because we don't have the Fading Hope anymore or the Lantern. But at the same time, I don't know that we need it. We have hard counters. Well, not hard, but hard enough for what they're doing. And Brazen Borrowers. So that's still 15 effects to deal with GreaseFang. That's a lot, and we're playing tempo. And sometimes they're just going to nut you. The question is, this is why we play best of 3. Can they nut you 2 out of 3 games? Odds are pretty low.
I don't know, that sounds like Friday and Saturday.
Touche. Anyway, this is about where we'd start. Have some fun with it. We'll have the list up, and it'll be on our Discord, so if you check the chat here, you'll see a little thing that says come join the party, and with a Discord link, I'll have the list posted up here within moments of the stream ending, and yeah, it's a strong place to start. We're sitting at 4-1 with it, and that was a pretty quick 4-1. Interesting games. It's not going to be easy to play. You're gonna make me.
It's rewarding though.
Yeah.
It's really rewarding, and the decks like this are absolutely educational.
It's the reason we play Magic. To play stuff like this, where it's interactive, it's interesting, every turn counts.
Well, I play Jund, but I'll play this sometime. I mean, this is like, you know, like if you always eat pizza, sometimes you want something else, I guess, right?
No, no, never. I just want pizza.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I've got Jund, I'll play Jund. But
fair enough. Anyway, Darth Rictus.
Darth Camgentes.
Peace, guys.